Aloha from the islands. This is Trinidad, the island man, coming to you straight from Hawaii, talking to you about episode 2 in the four-night premiere of the CW crossover event. Tonight's episode, The Flash, was fantastic, called Invasion. It's Season 3, Episode 8, and starts right off the bat with pretty much the Dominators arriving. Their ship crashes in Star Labs, and Barry has to make the decision to call in the Legends of Tomorrow, Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow, and go get Supergirl as extra backup to help. The episode starts off, again, this is the Flash episode, so it starts off with the Flash. I like how HR, this new version of Harrison Wells, is coming together with the idea of making Star Labs great again and doing these tours and getting basically Star Labs back up into running speed in the scientific community. So I think that's going to be a definite push in the future, and now that Barry doesn't have a job, I can see him taking more of a maybe lead role or secondary lead role in that. We've got to get something moving towards how he has, in the future, you've seen in Season 1, he gets this supercomputer, is the leader of the police department, I guess the commissioner over there. So, I think this leader role will definitely start to take shape from that. And we can see a little bit of it tonight as the Green Arrow go ahead and puts Barry in charge of this consolidated team. I do like that Supergirl had knowledge of the Dominators. That she said that the Kryptonians had dealings with them before, that they came and killed a lot of her people. So she knows of them. Maybe no specific details. Maybe once she goes back. It has been teased in some publications online that the Dominators will be back in Supergirl. It's unclear if she'll need the help of the Legends of Tomorrow, Green Arrow, the Flash, at all. Over there she's got Mon-El, the DEO, and even Superman could make an appearance to help out against the Dominators on her show, on what we find out is Earth 38. But right now, so the team trains, pretty much gets their butts kicked by Supergirl. No big surprise there. And we get to see this, the old hall, an old hangar that Star Labs owns. Everybody knows what this is, right? Anybody who'd seen the Saturday morning cartoons, the Super Friends? This is the Hall of Justice. The Hall of Justice, man. What do we got? We got the Hall of Justice. We got the Super Friends forming up for the first time. What were the Super Friends if you never saw that cartoon? It was the Justice League. The Justice League was the Super Friends, just in a more friendly format. And this was their headquarters. Straight out of the comic, straight out of the cartoon. This was a wonderful callback and start of the Super Friends, well before the Justice League movie ever hits. That also reminds me, I'd like to talk about that. The comic book, even the DC Universe movie-wise, is talking about, we're introduced with Superman versus Batman, the big three, big three, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Here, on the Berlanti-verse, on the CW network, the big three, we got Arrow instead of Batman. We got the Flash instead of Superman. Instead of Wonder Woman, we got Supergirl. I don't know, I guess those two are kind of synonymous. You can interchange them as you like. Superman, Supergirl, Flash, Wonder Woman maybe, I don't know. But, just trying to keep with the gender order there. But yeah, it's really wonderful to see. And so I think CW is knocking it out of the park. I don't know why Grace Randolph didn't want to cover all 4 nights of this. It's not like she didn't have any slow news anyways. She was complaining about, oh, I got to answer all these viewer questions. It's like, hey, the question was, why don't you cover, this 4-night crossover event? Okay, I could see Supergirl being skipped over because basically it's not a crossover event until the last 2 minutes of Supergirl. And even then, if you miss it, those 2 minutes are included in this episode of The Flash. So no big deal there. But once the action starts, they train, Supergirl, the Legends of Tomorrow, they're all taken over, gotta fight Green Arrow and the Flash, and they hold their own barely. Actually, they're getting their butts kicked. But fortunately, Kid Flash comes to their rescue. Wally saves them, but is terribly injured. But overall, he's okay. But it's good to see, I tell you. We also find out some other Easter eggs. Everybody now knows that Flashpoint happened. Flashpoint took place. And they're still, justifiably upset with Barry. Diggle finds out that he had a daughter instead of a son. Sarah instead of Jack. Stein is even feeling it. He has a daughter now. And it's unclear if he even married the same woman that he had before Flashpoint. So we have yet to see that. And we don't see his wife, just his daughter, so apparently she may have already passed. And he doesn't even know it yet, or remember, until he stays longer in this time frame. Will he go back and change it, or will he keep the daughter now? I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see. Also, HR, Harry Wells, Dr. Wells at this time, has agreed to train Kid Flash. So that's very interesting. It should be neat to see how things go, how that puts him and Wally at odds with the rest of the Team Flash, basically, because nobody wants to see him in action. Nobody wants to see him get hurt, but he's going out there, and again, like I said, he saved Oliver and Barry, from the mind-controlled Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow. So it was really something to see. I mean, we saw Flash, he's perfected, I guess, his lightning attack, able to shoot off 3 of them at once. It was rather incredible. And basically, the Flash and Green Arrow are able to reverse the mind control. And now, probably in Legends of Tomorrow, I guess Arrow. Well, Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, things will begin to wrap up. But, so, it'll be interesting to see. Make sure that you tune in again tomorrow to see what's going to happen on Arrow. This is the 100th episode, so you know it's going to be special. People were beamed up. Those people being what? Ray Palmer? Or was that Diggle? I couldn't quite tell. Pretty much Speedy, for sure, and Sarah Lance. And we've seen some of the previews that we get to see, her sister kind of come back, Laura Lance. So would this be a dream? Will this be some other type of mind control, brainwashing that the aliens are trying to use? Will we see Laura Lance, the AKA the old Black Canary that had died by Damien Dark's hands, come back and kind of mess with their heads? Definitely. That's what I'm betting. And I'm betting that that'll be extra special for the Arrow 100th episode. How they'll get saved, we'll have to tune in tonight and see. And then probably, of course, the big wrap-up will be with Legends of Tomorrow kicking the Dominators off our planet. Once and for all, maybe. But it sounds like they'll be back, definitely, in planet Earth 38, Supergirl's planet. So we'll just have to see how things go. All right, well, Shaka thumbs up or Shaka thumbs down for the crossover event. Right now, I'd say Shaka thumbs up for everything to do with the crossover event. And for this episode of The Flash, definitely get the ball rolling. Shaka thumbs up. All right, take care. Aloha from the islands. And hopefully I'll be back and we'll talk more about tonight's episode of The Arrow and then Legends tomorrow. This probably won't be a full ongoing thing. Usually I'll just stick to the movies that I'm seeing, but like I said, The 4-night crossover event. This is so historic. Gotta do it. Don't know why more people aren't doing it. Alright, take care. Aloha. Stay loose and hang ten. Whoa! Looks like the tsunami's coming. Aloha.